we're discussing together how AI can be used in government use cases and how does that affect citizens, residents, businesses, and whoever's living in the country. MG, how are we doing today?
I'm good, Ayman. How about you?
I'm good. So we have a bunch of things to talk about today.
Yeah. We're going to talk about a bunch of topics. We're going to start off with something related to health. I know a lot of us care about our health. So OpenAI and
Well,
Arianna Huffington. Oh, you had a bit of a discussion to talk about, and not everyone cares about health.
so okay, you care about your health? What did you eat today for lunch?
To be honest, I just had a handful of nuts and 2 coffees. Like, that's not healthy, to be honest. But I mean,
That's
I'm
the other
looking at.
extreme.
Yeah, that's the other extreme. Yeah, basically. But yeah, we have some news from OpenAI and Arianna Huffington from the Huffington Post that they are funding the development of an AI health coach that they call Thrive AI Health. They want it to be peer reviewed with science. They are partnering with the Stanford Medicine, a Neuroscience Institute, and so on. So they want it to be your personal health assistant. And they got on board the Carlos Love, who already had previous experience working with Google. He's now the CEO. He has experience working with Fitbit, so I'm pretty sure he can transfer most of his expertise into this new venture. But we are seeing this trend of AI gadgets, not AI gadgets, I should say, health monitoring gadgets. We've previously talked about the Whoop, and now we have a Thrive AI Health that will provide more personalized insights on healthcare, maybe easy access to sleep insights, calories, and so on. So is this a trend that is happening nowadays just because we want to implement AI?
So Arianna Huffington is a big name when it comes to health, and in particular sleep. She's written books about sleep. She's on podcasts about sleep and better health and better life. So a big name like Arianna Huffington partnering with OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, to focus on health, that combines big brand names with big technical capability and insight into the health world and Arianna Huffington's health network as well. There could be potential outputs of this having GPTs within ChatGPT to answer questions for users to have. When I look at countries that are in emerging markets, poorer countries, healthcare tends to be high up. And there are many attempts ever since the early internet for using bots and automated tools to get answers to health situations, especially when there are many members of society who do not have access to proper healthcare. So these tools can be used to answer the first layer of health on basic things related to day-to-day health aspects, sore throats, colds, small burns, or rashes. So you can take pictures and upload to these tools and get answers to what this is. So at least you can get the initial first layer answer and then see from that if you need a specialist. We've all had this in our real life where you walk into a hospital, an emergency room, you get the initial treatment by an early stage doctor, a doctor who's early in their career. So they have a limited set of experience, but their role is to triage, decide on how big of an issue you are. Do they need to bring in a specialist or not? Do they need to escalate, or is it just a small thing that they can take care of themselves? So the technology of OpenAI should be able to take care of that initial first layer. And what that means for governments, it's widening the number of people who have access to healthcare. It also means data on what are people asking about the most and what are the concerns that they have, similar to how you can track Google search results for certain medical issues or topics or outbreaks and so on. So there is healthcare, and AI is a very large field.
Yeah, 100%, Ayman. And this Thrive AI, they don't claim that they are replacing your medical consultant. They are just providing more insights on like sleep, nutrition, stress management, so on. But I'm just curious to see that would it be easier for OpenAI to just work or maybe partner with an app that already does this health monitoring, like Fitbit, like Whoop, rather than starting a new venture in that direction?
The ones you mentioned are very hardware focused. So with Arianna Huffington, my understanding is it's not very hardware focused, at least initially.
All right.
So and also Fitbit is Google and so on. So there
Yeah.
are you're
Mm.
choosing sides in this.
Yeah.
And Ariana is a very big name when it comes to health and fitness. So she's very focused on this personally. She's written books about it. She has a huge network of specialists who she has access to, and she can bring in to train these models and give feedback and reactions and use their name. And later on, she'll be promoting it herself. She has a large following of people who follow her,
Mm.
interact with her, so she can promote that. And from OpenAI's perspective, it's just one of the thousands of use cases. So they've ticked a small health box. So they still have so many health boxes to tick.
Mm.
For them, it's just one small health box of what the OpenAI can do in terms of health.
Yeah, yeah, right on. You also mentioned governments. How far do you think governments are from implementing AI within government hospitals? We know a lot of the countries have even outdated machinery, outdated maybe systems that track all the insights or all diagnostics for the patients. How far are we to start having AI being implemented in these government hospitals or governmental hospitals so that it becomes a bit more mainstream and acceptable?
And during my discussion with government entities, healthcare continues to be a topic for decades that government entities are looking to improve and address, especially that we're aging longer, so our lifespan is growing. So that means, as citizens and residents, we're more expensive to the government because people are living longer, and those extra years of age they tend to be quite sick. So there's a heavy load on the medical infrastructure. So the government is always looking at ways to prevent health issues and reduce the workload on the medical infrastructure. So any technology that can help reduce the health load on the economy, the government is open to it, and AI can provide um, great great use cases for healthcare, especially that the government owns a lot of the data and it has a lot of the data, and they're not interested in monetizing it like commercial entities would. So this is, citizens and resident data, and they're not interested in monetizing it, but they want to use this in order to see trends, and they already do this. The governments have been doing this for a long time, using data and analysis of data with machine learning and other aspects. So with AI here, you could look at identifying trends of certain outbreaks, trends of certain age groups. So for the youth, the direction for the youth in healthcare is this. Direction for women, for men age a certain age group, certain areas more than
Mm.
others. So healthcare will continue to be a topic, especially as we are aging
Would
longer.
there would there be any potential concern for patients or for users who may refrain or don't want any of their insights or diagnostics to be managed or handled by AI? We now know that a lot of our apps know a lot about us. They have a lot of our data. So, do you see this as a potential concern? Because I'm seeing this in the perspective of maybe the older generation who are now going into retirement, who are looking at their health, that, oh no, I don't want my health to be analyzed or held by AI. But is that a valid concern?
For the concern of using AI in the healthcare of a country, uh, many citizens and residents will not care about this. It's not high up on their priority when it comes to their healthcare. They want they're looking for the better doctor, the better hospital, the better service, the faster response time. So the concern of their privacy and their data and who's accessing what and so on, it's there, but it's not a deal breaker for them. It's a concern. They voice it and everything, but at the end,
Mm.
when a medical situation happens, they want the healthcare that they would need. Now, if usually within when you're looking at the country scale, the government is not interested in monetizing user data. They're not a commercial entity. So the AI usage will be to find trends and services and make improvements to the existing medical infrastructure. I'd be concerned when it comes to the commercial entities, insurance companies and hospitals as well, who are for profit, and they're looking for ways to reduce their costs to maximize their profit. There might be issues there with this, but these entities already have your data. When you joined, when you paid that insurance company, when you attended, when you checked into a certain hospital, you've given them permission to have access to your data. So it's already in their medical systems. They're adding AI on top of that. You're not granting additional AI permissions there, and the legislation has not caught up yet to say that no, you need explicit requests to use user data or not.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. And something that I think would benefit also efficient use and efficient implementation of AI in government hospitals, whether or government entities, is for these government officials to be properly trained on AI. And this is where our next topic comes in, because we have one platform that got a grant from Google by $5.6 million in order to fund a new program that they called the Government AI Campus Program. So Apolitical, I don't know if you're familiar with them, they do provide courses for government officials, for government services, to better perform on their day-to-day tasks. And now they got a grant from google.org to enhance or to basically expand their offerings into 5 new AI courses. How efficient do you think learning AI is to implementing AI in the government?
Capacity building and upskilling of the skill set of employees in government has always been there ever since for a very long time. And when it comes to technology, it's always high up in terms of we've introduced new computers, we've introduced new systems, we've introduced the internet and new technology, a new app. All of that requires upskilling of the talent in different government entities, and it's systematically, and that upskilling is systematically there. Now, adding AI into the mix, the difference with AI is everybody would need upskilling. So it's not just those who are certain departments that might be affected by a change in technology.
Yeah.
With AI, all of the departments are affected, from entry-level people all the way up to the C-level as well. So there's a requirement to upskill them, and the upskilling is done on 2 levels. The first level is their own personal productivity, writing their emails, getting summaries, summarizing reports, research and analysis. And then there's on the level of a department and organization level. What can I do on my department as HR, marketing, tech, whatever the department is in the government entity. So what does that mean in terms of use cases of day-to-day? So that's why the capacity building and the upskilling will continue. Google.org is a non-profit arm of Google to use their technology and their financial resources and their networks in order to help contribute to different causes. So having Google.org back, so having Google.org fund certain initiatives to train government employees on using AI is a welcome initiative.
Yeah, 100%. This AI campus program that is being funded, it aims to train 1 million government officials over the span of 2 years, and they launched their pilot, which trained 13,000 civil servants, and it went well. So they're expanding their work. But their data shows that 60% of government officials are actually using generative AI in their work, which I thought was a pretty surprising number. 60% is a big chunk of public workers who use generative AI in their work. And now they're catering to that with upskilling them, with offering them courses, and maybe they can become certified so that they can be more efficient in the work. So what are your thoughts on that?
I have a question mark of 60% of government employees are using AI.
Yeah.
There could be, it's a certain subset maybe, or the applicants who apply to that program are already using AI maybe. And in many cases, I've been part of surveys when people say, oh, they use AI minimally or whatever. That means they've tried ChatGPT once or twice. So it doesn't mean that they use AI. For me, user of AI, that means... AI. Yeah, absolutely. For me, when you use AI, that means you have a tab on your computer always open, ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, whatever it is. and you're adding it to your day-to-day. Help me draft this email. I have this summary report. Give me an idea about this. I have a detailed report that I don't want to write, or I don't have time to analyze, or I have this meeting to prepare for. So that type of that, I would say yes, you'll be using it every day. Are you using MG every day? What's the tab? What's the AI tab situation?
Yeah, I only have one tab open, which is ChatGPT. I use it all the time, basically. In order to prepare for the space, I used it for research purposes. Now we know that GPT 4.0 has better capabilities of browsing the web and fetching relevant information. So I use that as a start, and then I expand my work based on that. But yeah, GPT is a tab that is bookmarked on my browser every day. I use it pretty constantly. Not a big fan of. I wouldn't say not a big fan, not to take away from Gemini, but I haven't gotten used to working with Gemini as I have with GPT. Maybe because I was introduced to it first.
Of course, first mover advantage always.
Yeah, always works. We've been discussing AI and the impact on governments. Is AI the key to better government services around the world, or should we provide a service that enhances the service offerings for government? Like, will AI by itself provide better government services? Is AI only the solution? Is it the magic pill that the government will take, and finally their offerings will be much more relatable to the public?
Using AI effectively in government services requires good intent. Let me elaborate. The intention is to service citizens and residents very effectively and to enhance that service. If that intent is there, then using any tool, whether AI or technology or apps or digitization, becomes a tool to help that government entity fulfill that intent. So, but using it just to use it, it's a nice fancy PR spin, but it won't be very effective on the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume that a certain government entity has the right intent to roll out AI services, to use AI in order to find use cases for the citizens and the residents. It can find so many use cases, whether it's with their communication with citizens and residents, whether it's the handling the number of incoming requests, whether improving the service, finding trends for recurring problems and solutions for those, improving the skill set of the employees of the government entity in order to be more productive in their day-to-day, so that they can do more. So there are so many use cases if the intent is right. So first you get the intent right. Second, you'd identify use cases that the government entity can handle. Then you need to look at what data do I have if I need to run those AI use cases. How are my departments structured, and how can AI be used more effectively with one department more than the other? Do we have the budget for this? Where is our data? So there's a lot to unpack there, but it all starts with the intent of AI is very powerful and capable, and I want to use it in government to better service citizens and residents. It starts there.
Yeah, well, I do agree 100%. But do you think there would be a threshold with users or the public maybe adapting or working with AI? I know that AI comes in the form that we're all used to, like a chatbot or something else. But would there be a kind of a hindrance or some sort of threshold that the public needs to overcome to accept that governments are now using AI or will be using AI to enhance their services, or maybe offer some new services along the line?
A successful government use case that is based on AI is when citizens do not feel that AI was used. So, for example, the Road Transportation Authority in Dubai, RTA, are using AI within their apps to show citizens and residents the parking situation, the public parking situation in the city. So it shows them where it's busy, where it's not, and it predicts, based on past data, it predicts ahead what hours are going to be busier than others, and so on. All of this is AI-based, but from your perspective as a user, it's solving for your problem of, if I go to these areas, can I park? Is this going to be busy area, busier than others? So AI is being used, but it's in the background. A use case is it helps you plan your day and know how tough it is to park. That's an example of a successful AI use case that uses AI without it being in your face as a user.
Yeah. I do agree with not being in your face as a user, because if a government would be using AI, of course it's nice to let everyone know that it has the capabilities and the workers have the skill set to manage and use AI, and all the applications that's being offered use AI. But we don't have to brand it as AI. I mean, this is a service that uses AI. Do you think there's an issue with branding, or will AI just become the next basic layer that we're going to get used to with all the services being offered?
What I like with the public push with AI for government services and consumer services is that there's a new breath of fresh air saying, what can I do? Let me revisit my existing services. Let me
Yeah.
revisit my existing products. Let me revisit how I do staffing. Let me revisit how I structure my government entities. So this is a great way to look at with a fresh eye to revisit existing processes, existing services, and so on. So that I think is one of the excellent improvements that is presented by AI.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
That should cover the key topics that we have for today. Thank you for joining us, and let us know in the DM if you have any questions on the topics that we spoke about. Thank you, and see you next week every Thursday, 5 p.m. Dubai time.